Yo, what's going on, fellas? So, I had a lot of people message me telling me to react to this. Well, not this video, but the new information on the Rasengan Uzuhiko, it looks like. Honestly, I don't know what it is. I was going to just make a video on it, but I thought a reaction video would be better for this type of video. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna just react to it together with y'all, and we're just gonna talk about it. So I see they updated the Databook. They inserted the Rasengan Uzuhiko. So now we could possibly get some new information regarding its power, how it works. Some stuff that wasn't included in the manga should be here, basically. So anyway, without further ado, Simply Troy, I'm gonna leave the link to his channel down below in the description. Make sure y'all go show him some love and all that stuff. I'm gonna try to keep this one within like 10 to 15 minutes. I'm not gonna watch the whole one. I just want to see the new info and some other thoughts on it, and we'll go from there. But without further ado, let's hop right into it.
Hello everyone, now a new Boruto database just dropped. These are akin to the Naruto data books, you know, where they explain various jutsus, events, and characters.
Yep, that's what I thought it was.
Digitalized.
Okay.
And they explain various jutsu and characters
Okay.
like the Naruto one. So just take it as that or something synonymous to that. And of course, they come with the great treat of being translated for us already. Unlike the Naruto data books, which only have a few official translations and most of them are not officially translated. But yeah, these often don't contain enough information to make like a fully analyzed video breaking it down with like crazy editing or stuff. So I'll just go over them every once in a while once they release.
Yeah, like I said, the reason why I decided to make this a reaction video is because I knew it probably wouldn't give us that much information to make a whole video off of. I mean, I could definitely finesse it if I wanted to, but yet again, I feel like this is a better option to go about it. That way I can get my initial thoughts out on it without having to do too much. And I feel like sometimes this is just a better way to interact with y'all. But all I'm looking for is some information that may have not been in the manga that just gives Uzuhiko a brand new light.
Let's actually get to what they said about the Rasengan Uzuhiko. Now, classification ninjutsu.
Alright.
Okay. This confirms that it is not a sage jutsu like people were wondering.
Okay, I mean, if it was a sage like Sage Jutsu, it would probably say Senjutsu. Okay, so definitely it's a ninjutsu, regular ninjutsu, not a Shinjutsu. I remember when people saying it was a Shinjutsu. Okay, it's regular ninjutsu. That's cool. That's cool to know.
Doesn't have sage mode. No, I thought that was pretty obvious. Though what I didn't know what was obvious is if it incorporated any type of nature energy or things like that. Sorry, that was my phone going off.
Yep.
Incorporated any type of nature energy or things like that, and just besides Boruto's chakra. So how they explain it is a new form of the Rasengan that utilizes not only one's chakra or one's own chakra, but also the planet's rotation and orbit, plus the corresponding centrifugal and other forces, in addition to the damage that a standard Rasengan causes. It destroys the target's sense of balance, debilitating them due to the unceasing nature of the planetary movement. The effects of the Uzuhiko do not fade.
I mean, right here, we already seen this in the manga, in addition to the damage that a standard Rasengan causes. So basically saying like, okay, it has the damage, it packs the punch, but it also has that side effect, which we already know. It destroys the target's sense of balance. It throws his old equilibrium off, basically. And it doesn't fade unless Boruto turns it off himself. But right here, what did they mean by this? Resulting in not just physical harm. Yeah, because we seen Boko get bodied. We seen him get bodied, for sure, for sure. But untold psychological damage. I mean, is it just because your body is spinning at such a pace where it's just gonna mess up your head or something like that? Or will it really damage your psyche? And before we go on, I know a lot of people that watch this video are not gonna know what centrifugal means. So I'll just briefly explain it. So imagine you have a ball, right? How can I explain this? Okay, here's a better explanation. You have a racetrack, right? The racetrack is in the shape of a circle. You have a car rotating around the track, and then you have a center point, right? The car is going to be rotating around that point. So basically you have a point, you have another point, that point is going to be rotating around the point in the middle. That's all it means. Which kind of explains how the other planets orbit around the sun, but you guys get the point. That's probably the best example, how the planets orbit around the sun.
If Boruto doesn't get rid of the jutsu, it just doesn't goes away. So it's endless damage that not only messes with your balance, but rips you to shreds from the inside out almost infinitely, right? Until you die, basically. Resulting in not just physical harm, but untold psychological damage. Boruto refers to the planetary energy used for Uzuhiko as a planet's chakra, but this is not the same as nature energy used by ninjas such as Naruto and Mitsuki when they enter Sage mode. So that's basically confirming it right there. This is not nature energy, or this does not incorporate.
There was a lot of confusion behind that because, I mean, when you talk about the planet's chakra, I mean, what do you think about? You think of nature energy, the energy that comes from the planet. Everybody thought Boruto utilized this energy that came from the planet to form his Rasengan or something like that. Something similar to a spirit bomb, right? But this time, the effects, and we know how the Rasengan is just an orb of spinning chakra. Everlasting spinning chakra. You take the chakra from the earth and you make a Rasengan out of that. Boom, you get the Uzuhiko. Now that makes perfect sense, doesn't it? That's what we all thought it was. So when you utilize nature energy, you obviously have some form of mastery over how to perceive nature energy and how to incorporate it into like techniques, right? And then of course you could probably link it together like nature energy is related to Sage mode and stuff like that. You guys get it. But since the data book confirmed it right here, the planet's chakra is not the same as nature energy. It's easy to get confused with. The planet's chakra, nature energy, it just sounds the same. So what does Boruto really mean by the planet's chakra? I mean, he could be talking about his own chakra, but if he was, he wouldn't describe it as the planet's chakra or a planet's chakra. So that is a bit confusing, I'm not gonna lie. So if it's not the same as nature energy, it has to be something else. I hope is this it? If this is it, basically, I mean, damn. Yeah, that's really not enough to make a whole video. Yeah, see, that's why a reaction video is better.
But something different in its entirety, that being the planet's chakra. So to kind of put it into perspective for you guys, it is the planet's chakra, not nature energy, Boruto's chakra, the orbit and rotation of the planet, other centrifugal and other forces, which they just don't name here, in addition to whatever the base amp of the Rasengan is. To break it down even further,
I would have thought it would be stronger than the regular Rasengan.
This is basically telling you that it does not cap at planetary.
And what I mean by that, like, we all know it has the standard damage that a Rasengan outputs. But as we know, the damage of a Rasengan, it kind of scales to the user in a way. So when they say in addition to the damage that a standard Rasengan causes, Boruto's standard Rasengan now could just be that powerful. Because I've seen a lot of people say, okay, without Uzuhiko, Boruto wouldn't have won. I don't know where y'all getting that information from. Like, now that I'm reacting to the video, I'm like, what? Because even if he take the initial hit of the Rasengan and still got up, as we know, the reason why he couldn't fight anymore was the side effects of the Uzuhiko. I mean, Code still hasn't shown the ability to be able to even touch Boruto prior to that. So what makes you think, okay, if that was just a regular Rasengan, Boruto couldn't beat Code? That doesn't make any sense. Code couldn't even touch Boruto, and y'all are trying to tell me that. Y'all do realize Boruto can beat Code without any Rasengan at all, right? The Uzuhiko was just the fastest way to kill him off. That's why he used it. Boruto already surpassed Code in every aspect already. But when you're in such a hurry like Boruto, you have no time to play around. So you're gonna use the fastest method possible. And the Uzuhiko was that. Like, y'all are crazy, bro. Y'all are crazy for that one. But hey, it is what it is.
It doesn't fade at all. So it's not just physical harm, it's psychological damage as well.
Yeah.
An untold portion of this is basically telling you that all the stuff we saw happen to Code is that's not the end all be all, right? More stuff will happen that just aren't told to us, at least right now, within chapter 3.
Ooh, Code nerf? Code nerf? Hold on.
I think what makes this jutsu, you know, way more deadly than its everlasting effects and fact that it just bypasses conventional durability is the fact that you don't need to hit your opponent to activate it.
Yeah.
As long as your opponent can touch you or land a hit on your body, like let's say someone punches you, the Rasengan Uzuhiko would just encase their body.
It latches on to
like Boruto said versus Code, when Code grabbed Boruto's arm, he was already halfway dead, and the Rasengan Uzuhiko had already begun to take over his body. So people often think that this part is necessary. No, this was just Boruto hitting him with a Rasengan to show him, you know, that he means business. But the ability was already activated as stated by Boruto and Code when Code touched Boruto initially.
I ain't gonna lie, that's
this
broken. That's broken.
To show how much of a prodigy Boruto is, because no one, and I mean no one in the series has made as a complex jutsu that ends up being this powerful, right? This does basically every form of damage, This also bypasses conventional durability, and it somehow is the strongest offensive and defensive ninjutsu I've ever seen.
You gotta give it to Code. He's one of the most durable characters in the series. I can't even lie to you. But the thing is, you cannot train your insides. That's where he got Code at. Like I said, bro, it causes psychological damage. This right here basically confirms that the Uzuhiko bypasses all durability when it comes to your body. When it says psychological, that means it's on a way deeper level. It affects your brain, and you cannot train your organs. That's what I meant. I mean, come on, bro. This is the strongest Rasengan we ever seen. This is the strongest Rasengan we ever seen right here. And if you get hit by it, yo, this is a perfect move to use against the OTSUTSUKI. I mean, I know Code is not an OTSUTSUKI, but we all know the OTSUTSUKI have extremely durable bodies. And they can regenerate super fast. This, along with the Flying Raijin, and the fact that you can't even touch Boruto, this is the perfect technique to use against most of the villains in the show at this point. I ain't gonna lie to you. And that's kind of why I believe that if it does come down to it, a guy like Damon wouldn't be able to take Boruto down anymore. You know, it's just because of this move right here. If it ever comes down to that, Boruto will have to use the Uzuhiko against Damon. That's the only way he can bypass Damon's reflective ability. So I think we covered the Uzuhiko enough. I think that's enough. I got all my thoughts out. I also heard some of Troy's thoughts, you know, appreciate that. But yeah, at the end of the day, bro, Uzuhiko, one hell of a technique. The perfect technique, by the way. You know what? I can't wait to see Code again, because when we see Code again, we can finally see how the Uzuhiko affected him. If it does cause psychological damage like they said, maybe even after Boruto turned it off, it still has some effects on his body because it was in him at some point. But it didn't affect him for too long, because the very next chapter, it was removed from his body. So we still have to see how that affected him. But a Rasengan that bypasses all conventional durability and has a side effect that broken, that's one of the strongest jutsus we ever seen, hands down. But if you guys like this video and have any other thoughts on Uzuhiko, stuff like that, make sure you leave it down below in the comment section. I'm open to all conversation and anything. Get all your thoughts out in the comment section. And yeah, just tell me how OP Uzuhiko is, bro. That's all I want to hear in the comment section. But anyway, I'm about to get out of here. If you guys like this video and want to see more like this, make sure you like, comment, subscribe if you're new. And until my next video, I'm out. Peace.